What is going on, guys? Guess what? Your boy is here. It is the one and only Who Dat Davis here for you. Don't know, you will know over here. We bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. Thank you guys very, very much for joining me for this edition of the B&G podcast. I hope you guys have been having a fantastic week as I have. Blessings have been coming and going, but they have been coming more than they have been going. Pause. I know that sounded sus. But yeah, things have been actually pretty good over here, guys. I have so much I want to catch up with you on, give you guys some updates on how the life is over here at the house, the home of the Who Dat Davis family. Started with my grandmother because you all know grandmother gets the love first before anything else. But grandmother is doing better. She hasn't been feeling any type of pain, in terms of major pain. She's still feeling sore. Okay, she's still sore every now and again, but she has had more better days than bad, and I can't be blessed enough to hear that from her and see that from her. She's drinking more water. We're looking into getting her more things to properly eat. She hasn't been feeling dizzy as of late. She is on the mend. We're not going to jinx anything yet. We're still in the makings of planning for worst case scenarios or bad contingencies. But for now, we're just counting our blessings and thankful that she is on the mend and trending, even though it's slightly just trending upwards in the right direction in terms of her health. So please, everybody, just keep her in your thoughts, keep her in your prayers. Let's go to church, pray for her. I'm not a religious guy, but I am feeling a little blessed right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. Just keep her in your thoughts, prayers, please. Just give her all your energy. It is sincerely helping. It is seriously helping. I can't give her all the energy that she needs by myself, as much as I want to, right? But you guys and your support through the chat, through my social media, through liking the Facebook page and all of that, she sees all of that. I show her I show her all the love you guys give her. Like, she's entirely thankful. She's very thankful for that. So please continue giving her your support. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to her. Secondly, I got a car now. Yes, I finally got me my own car, which means I'm giving myself more opportunities to get out there, find me some more opportunities to bring more money back into the house. You know what I mean? And it's a Chrysler. It is a really good Chrysler 100. It is a hand-me-down from my aunt, but it is still a dream to have. It is a beauty of a car. I'm paying $400 a month for a car note until it's finally paid off. Hoping to have it paid off by the end of this year, and then get the title of the car switched to my name, along with updated insurance and updated license plate. So we have our car. We're going out. And what have I been doing with that car since then? I have been finally going to the gym. You guys been watching my social media on Twitter. I have been going to, the Planet Fitness. That's just a 10-minute drive from my house, and we have been getting it in at the gym. My biceps and my legs are still feeling sore these workouts, and that is a good feeling. It is an absolute amazing feeling. I love the feeling of just being able to get healthy. I've been wanting to do this for a long while, but I had no way of getting there without paying a taxi or paying an Uber, just insane amount of money every single morning. Now I don't have to do that. And we have been getting it in. You guys are going to be a part of this journey to help me get fit, help me slim down, and I can't thank everybody enough for that. It has been absolutely awesome. Thankful for my family, helping me get through, being able to, go to the gym and supporting me going to the gym, things of this nature, things of that nature. And lastly, thank you guys for your donations. I had a few donations coming through my CASHAPP over the last couple of days. I put that aside in my savings, so when I come back in full force, I'll be updating my channel here, updating my streaming service here, and make sure I give you guys even better content than I am right now. I am wanting to do videos again. I don't want to just be regulated to live streams. I want to be able to actually upload short videos in terms of news, updates, and all that for you guys. Once again, like I did before, I need a new stream. I need a new video editing service. So if you guys have any recommendations, hit up my social media DMs. It doesn't matter if you're on Instagram or even YouTube, here in the comment section on my videos, or on Facebook in my DMs. Any way you guys have to reach me and recommend to me any type of video editing software, I am totally wholeheartedly down for that. I appreciate you guys' support and your recommendations, no matter how little you think it might be. Now, with all that being said, let's officially get down with the breakdown. We are going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints and these rumors and this report suggesting that the Saints are going to be in the market for getting a quarterback in the first round of this year's draft. Now, the New Orleans Saints recently, if you guys haven't been paying attention, the Saints have recently made a major trade to get, a 2 first-round picks from the Philadelphia Eagles. Check out my community tab if you guys don't know the specifics of what the Saints traded to get those 2 first-round picks this year. They currently have pick number 16 and they have pick number 19, which means the Saints are in retooling mode. They are reloading. They are not in rebuild mode. They've said that, and these actions coincide with what they have preached to the media. That is absolutely awesome. I'm so happy for that. Now, a lot of us, me included, I would prefer, going with the usual formula the Saints have been doing when it comes to these 2 first-round picks, what they end up getting. Spending one on an offensive key player, another one on a defensive key player. But for this year specifically, given what they've done so far to the defensive line with adding a couple of players here and there, I would like the Saints to go double dip on the offensive side this year. I want a wide receiver and a offensive tackle to replace Teron Armstead. As much as I love James Hurst and now he's filled in as a mainly in all over the line because injuries were piling up for the Saints offensive line last year. I want James Hurst to be more of a 6th offensive lineman more than an actual starter, because I think he fits that role a little better than he would as, a day one guy. I don't think that's James Hurst anymore. I think he can plug in and hold down the fort until the starter comes back. But I don't think James Hurst is the answer to be a starting tackle or a starting guard, for the Saints. I just don't see it. So I would want the Saints to get an offensive tackle in this year's draft with number 16, 19. A couple of players have come to mind for me. The 2 most prominent being Charles Cross from Texas A&M, Charles Cross, or Trevor Penning from University of Northern Iowa, UNI. I would prefer Charles Cross personally, but I'm not going to be mad if they take Trevor Penning, because he is a mauler, and we need some maulers, and we need that feisty attitude on the offensive line. We need bullies on that line. I don't want to see our offensive line getting bullied anymore, especially with Cesar Ruiz struggling at the right guard position. We need solid guys. We need stone guys to help shore up the run game and help protect Jameis Winston. I would want one of those guys. So in Trevor Penning and Charles Cross, both fit that bill. They're both extremely athletic also. I think Charles Cross is a little more athletic than Trevor Penning is, but Penning has the wider base. He is a little sturdier. It just depends what your flavor is. Now, a wide receiver, go ahead and talk about that. That'd be another one I want the Saints to double dip on. We all know the Saints need offensive help. We all know it. But mainly the wide receiver spot. This is the time. This is the chance for Dennis Allen to once again do another thing that many of us have criticized Sean Payton for not doing, and that is addressing an obvious need. One of the obvious needs is obviously the wide receiver room. When they haven't addressed it since 2017, and properly, mind you, they took, Traquan Smith in 2018, but it hasn't panned out that way. Now he's back on the team. I don't see him having a major impact. It is what it is. But I would want the Saints reload that offensive firepower and get another wide receiver. There are several different names that come to mind here. A lot of names have been coming up on my social media, from Garrett Wilson to Chris Olave. Those are the main 2 talking points, right? But what about some other big cats, some other wide receivers that we don't yet know about? Well, how about Jahan Dotson from Penn State. Jahan Dotson is a surefire blocker. I would say even better than Tre'Quan Smith is. He loves getting violent with his hands. He is a great blocker out on the perimeter. If you guys don't believe me, go check out his tape. The Penn State tape speaks for itself. He can also play the Y. So he can play outside, inside, wherever you want to line him up. Jahan Dotson can do that. I would like to see him as an X receiver, take the top off of a defense because he has that big playability, even though he's more of an intermediate guy, a deep to intermediate guy. But Jahan Dotson, man, he can get separation with the best of them. Even if the best of them being Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave has, the best ability to separate in this year's draft class. That's just me, though. What other wide receivers are not being considered here? How about David Bell from Purdue? I would love to see David Bell on the Saints roster. Some of you guys have heard me speak about David Bell. I think David Bell is an underrated route runner. He has the set of hands in this draft class. Better than Garrett Wilson, better than Chris Olave, better than George Pickens. He has the best set of hands in this draft class. I will argue this until I die. There are other ones such as Wan'Dale Robinson from Kentucky, George Pickens from Georgia. George Pickens' name has been coming up on Twitter a little more and it's closer, and for good reason. Other than injury history, George Pickens has a lot of upside. He has that freakish ability to accelerate. He has that ability to take the top off of it, and he has underrated footwork in terms of being able to run a crisp route and gain separation at the top of the key. George Pickens just has to prove that he can be healthy, and not to mention he has a dog mentality, kind of similar to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Not to be totally surprised because he did play for Georgia and they just won a natty. But I would love to see George Pickens on the Saints that do decide to go that route. I think he has a lot more upside than Tre'Quan Smith did when he came into the league. And I mean that as in he has more of a total package. He can run more than just a deep a go route or a seam route. Like George Pickens has the ability to run the short, intermediate, and the deep, along with being able to block on the perimeter. Tre'Quan Smith doesn't have any of that. He just has his run blocking to go off of, and that's not enough anymore. I'm tired of people trying to use Tre'Quan Smith's run blocking ability out on the perimeter as a reason for why he is still on this team. It's not a good reason anymore. Any young cat, even a veteran that can block even just as good, even if not even better than what Smith is doing right now for this team. I don't want Tre'Quan Smith anymore. I hope the next guy coming in pushes him right out of the door. Now, the question here is the Saints are reportedly high on two quarterbacks. The two quarterbacks being Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. Malik Willis from Liberty and Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. Would I be surprised if they went in the way of a quarterback? No. Do I want them to? No. And I'll tell you why. If they decide to go quarterback in this year's draft class, it would be another move that sets Dennis Allen apart from Sean Payton in terms of cleaning up Sean Payton's latest mistakes before he walked out the building for the New Orleans Saints. What that would mean to me, and this is just me, I don't know how anybody else would feel, but if Dennis Allen decides to go quarterback this year, that means Ian Book is just all but assuredly going out the door, right? Many of us were so perplexed that Sean Payton went Ian Book, as I believe a 5th round pick or a 4th round pick in last year's draft. Like that could have been another key piece that could help you win right now, but he went to a quarterback, and I found that to be pretty interesting. I wasn't sure what entire thought process was going into that, but it's still interesting nonetheless. What is Dennis Allen is not high on Kenny Pickett, not Kenny Pickett, on Ian Book, then Sean Payton was high on Ian Book in terms of his development and in terms of his potential. Now, that's not Ian Book's fault, right? It's not his fault, and he did have callers wanting to know a little more about Ian Book. So it's not like he's going to be, completely forgotten about, lost in the shuffle. So that's one reason why that's one way how I view this. Another is I wouldn't be surprised if they went quarterback, because as much as I would love Jameis Winston to be the guy for New Orleans, and I am a advent for Jameis Winston. You guys can find any of my latest pod on here or on Hoodie Jude or anywhere. I am high on this guy. It just doesn't surprise me because the Saints have to do their due diligence. Until someone steps up and answers the call to be the next long-term answer, the Saints have to keep every option available on their table. They have to. Look at all these other teams that have went so long without finding their next big long-term quarterback. Right now it's the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to be looking for a while. But before them, it was the Denver Broncos. And right now it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't know what yet the situation is for the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. We don't know what it's going to be looking like with Lance and the San Francisco 49ers yet. They have a great defense. They have an okay special teams. But is Trey Lance the answer for the 49ers? We have yet to see the answer to that one way or another. So I can expect them to continue looking if things don't pan out within the first 6 or 7 weeks of this season. Another team that's struggling to find their next big quarterback is the New York Giants. The Giants are still looking for their next long-term deal. There's reportedly still high on Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones has only had flashes in the pan of being able to be a great quarterback. I wouldn't say elite, but he shown flashes of being a great quarterback. Flashes aren't enough. He has to sustain consistency. The only thing he sustained in terms of consistency is injuries. He's injury prone. So the Giants are still looking. Who else is looking? The Miami Dolphins. I'm not sure if they're too high on Tua. The Dolphins, potentially the Jets, if Zach Wilson doesn't pan out yet. We don't know the answer to that. The Jacksonville Jaguars, we don't know if Trevor Lawrence is going to be a long-term answer. Houston Texans with Davis Mills. There are so many teams that we don't look at and consider long-term, like just long-term answers at a quarterback position. Then they're still either they're still looking or they're going to be still looking. The Saints are in danger of being one of those teams. They have to get this right sooner rather than later. Obviously, have to get the position done right. So I'm for the objectivity of this more than biased opinion for Jameis. Like I said, I want Jameis Winston to be the long-term answer for the quarterback spot for the New Orleans Saints. But I cannot fault Dennis Allen. I cannot fault Mickey Loomis in the Saints front office. I'm making sure they exhaust every possible option to be their next long-term quarterback. I can't. Like they are doing their job. They're absolutely doing the best job. Did I just time out? Guys, did I just time out? That was weird. But yeah, I'm not sure we can fault these guys for doing their best to ensure that they got the best possible guy in the building. Like at all. So, with that being said, can we consider Jameis Winston a long-term answer? I would hope so. Jameis has all the tools of the trade. I hope you guys heard everything I said before that, because that was just weird. Like I was talking and then all of a sudden I had to reload in. My Wi-Fi didn't conk out or anything. That was just weird. But and I like Kenny Pickett. I do. I would prefer Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis if it came down to it. And that's not a knock on Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis has the better arm talent than Kenny Pickett is. He's younger. He's able to grow. Ceiling is really high. If he can, polish that footwork, his throwing mechanics, I think Malik Willis can be a better thrower of the football than Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's going to be as athletic running the football as Lamar Jackson, but I think of him to be a sort of like a hybrid between Jackson and his running ability and the potential growth of a Josh Allen in terms of his arm strength. Because he's got a cannon of an arm, an absolute cannon. Like, I love it. I love it about Malik Willis. But I just think Kenny Pickett is a little more seasoned right now. Now, his ceiling may not be as potentially high as Malik Willis, but his floor is certainly higher. And you can make a case that Kenny Pickett, if he ever gets the reins in the Saints offense with the right tools, he could have a Justin Herbert type of boom. And I mean that in a good way, because when Justin Herbert came out of Oregon, not a lot of people were very high on what Justin Herbert could do. Like, a lot of people had him sliding down into the second round, maybe even the third round when he was drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers. Analysts have been wrong many, many a time, creating all these stupid narratives or whatever the case may be. But Justin Herbert proved people wrong. Certainly proved us Saints fans wrong during the 2020 season, because he lit up that Saints defense, that terrific Saints defense. He torched them, only to lose in overtime. He torched the Kansas City Chiefs that same year and outplayed Patrick Mahomes. He outplayed Tom Brady when he went to the Bucs home stadium that year. Also, Justin Herbert proved everybody wrong. Everybody. He is regarded as a top quarterback. Absolutely, he is regarded as a top 5 quarterback. Top 10, definitely, but many will have him as top 5, and I can see the argument for that. I think Kenny Pickett has that kind of for him, because Kenny Pickett only had one really good season when he was with Pittsburgh. But with that being said, I would say Joe Burrow. A lot of LSU fans here are going to, come at me in full force here, but Joe Burrow had one really great year. Only one great year in his college career, and look where he is right now. He took a poverty franchise, a former poverty franchise, Cincinnati Bengals, and he took them to the Super Bowl in his second year. Now, many can argue that the defense held up their end of the bargain, and he played like trash or subpar during his postseason run, and I can understand that. But be in that position in the first place, if not for what Joe Burrow was doing in that front office, was loading talent around him, from Jamar Chase to T. Higgins, CJ Uzomah. This offseason, they've added some pieces to the line. They signed La'el Collins as a right tackle, to protect that side. The expectation for Burrow is going to get even higher. So if Joe Burrow can come in second year, his first full season, mind you, his first full season as an NFL starter, he went to the Super Bowl. If Joe Burrow can do it with the Cincinnati Bengals, there's nothing to stop the Saints, who are more stable, who has talent around him, or is going to build talent around him offensively. There's nothing to stop Kenny Pickett from, if one day, taking the Saints to the promised land, if he ever decides to, if he gets the reins. You know what I mean? So I'm high on Kenny Pickett. I am. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints drafted him. But I would prefer a wide receiver and an offensive tackle, just like many of us around. Like, for real. Like, I'm tired of looking at these great value receivers that we got going around. And I like Marquez Callaway. I like Deontay Hardy. If you guys don't know who Deontay Hardy is, that's formerly known as Deontay Harris. I like those two guys. I don't like Traquan Smith, period. But those two can be number 3 and number 4. I genuinely believe that. Marquez Callaway had posted 697 yards and I believe 6 touchdowns, 6+, if I'm not mistaken, 6+ receiving touchdowns like last year. That's more than what Traquan Smith has done in a single entire career. Smith has never broken past 500 total receiving yards in a single season. Marquez Callaway did that in just his second year. Deontay Hardy did that in just his third year. They've shown more upside than Tre'Quan Smith has, period. They are great complementary players. They're just not number one guys, and that's nothing wrong with that. With Michael Thomas coming back, I'm sure those guys are going to shine even more so. But you need a true number two. You need a true number two. A number two for me would be, I would say, David Bell, Chris Olave, George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, Treylon Burks even. I forgot about Treylon Burks from Arkansas. Those are my top five of who I would believe to be a number two worthy receiver. Like legit. All right, let's read some of these comments. And then we're going to put the phone lines up for everyone to grab at. Wonderful news. Thank you very much, guys. I see the prayers. Oh, yeah, the Pelicans are playing tonight. Guys, root for the boys. Pelicans are taking on, I believe, they beat the Spurs. I'm not sure who they're taking on tonight. I forgot. But they're still fighting for the 8th seed. So let's go. Let's go, Pelicans. I'm not much of a basketball fan, but I will support those boys. Like, dead ass. I will support them. Who that everyone. I'm working but listening. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit me up. We can meet up and I can give you your mic. Hey, I got you. Hey, I got you. I got you, bro. Just let me. I'll hit you up on Twitter after this is over. I'll hit you up after this is over. Okay. Someone's still saying anime ID Saquon Barkley. I'm still not high on Saquon. I'm not. I'm sorry. I wouldn't mind it though. Rudy Verdon says, I can smell you. I can smell you. Cold man. I'm creeping around right now. You just can't see me. All right, John Cena. I appreciate you being here though, for real. It's nice to see you here, Rudy. Woo. Woo. That was terrible. Strike that from the record. Woo says, I wouldn't be surprised if Saints go quarterback. I think Saints fans forgot we tried to trade up to get Mac Jones. There is that also. Like, life beyond Drew Brees is not going to be easy, guys. I want Jameis Winston to be the next long-term answer more than anybody. Probably not more than Jameis 101, but definitely more than anybody. It's just, I want this team, I'm a fan of this team first and foremost. And I want this team to be set up for success. In the off chance that Jameis does not pan out, my ultimate dismay, I want the Saints to have a backup plan. I want the Saints to show and make sure to reassure me that they are still keeping their options open at the quarterback spot. That is the most important position in all sports. And they have to hit it. They have to hit it like they did Drew Brees back in 2006. They got to. They can't be like these other teams that are still searching for their next franchise quarterback. It's not going to work. I mean, not everybody can be a Los Angeles Rams and getting a Super Bowl in their first year with Matthew Stafford. They can't be a Tom Brady with the Bucs. Like, not every team's built for that. Not even the Saints right now. They still have a lot of work they need to do. So I want them to have their head on their shoulders, make sure they don't get ahead of themselves. They exhaust every possible option, turn over every stone, and really make sure they get the right guy in the room if Jameis Winston doesn't pan out. I would say if Jameis doesn't get them to at least into the playoffs, then he's not a long-term answer. He has to get them into the playoffs and win a playoff game. Jameis would have to get into the playoffs and win a playoff game at least once to have the argument that he can be a legit franchise quarterback for this team. That's what I believe Jameis Winston would have to do. He has to get them into the playoffs. He has to win a playoff game, whether that be by some miracle of first seed and they get a first round bye. He has to win a divisional. If we get into the wild card, he has to win the wild card round, no matter who it's against. Win a playoff game at least once. He's got to. Now, his chances of being a long-term quarterback go up if they find a way to get the 1 seed and win that game, get into the championship. His stock would really increase for the Saints. And I believe they would tear up the contract and give him a 4-year deal. with that if that ended up happening. I don't think we draft a quarterback. I believe. Let me read this again. I don't think we draft a quarterback. I believe we'll draft a wide receiver and tackle in the first round and safety in the second. I do believe we'll take a wide receiver and a tackle in the first round. That's what I believe also. I just wouldn't be surprised if they end up going the way of a quarterback for obvious reasons I just stated a couple. But the safety part is interesting to me because the Saints are also hurting for a safety. Like the Saints lost Malcolm Jenkins and Marcus Williams. Two of their starting safeties are gone. One is to the Baltimore Ravens, and one is to retirement. And thank you, Malcolm Jenkins, again for what you have done for this organization, for this team, and for this fan base. I hope you enjoy retirement. You most certainly deserve it, my brother. But with that being said, losing your free safety and strong safety in the same offseason, as long as you're starting left tackle, is an absolute worst case scenario for the New Orleans Saints. Like guaranteed. You know, Matt Moscona from After Further Review, AFR, would tell you that the Saints roster right now is better than it was week 18. I would argue the contrast. I think the Saints are a little worse right now until they address those positions and than they were week 18 because they had Marcus Williams at the time. They had Malcolm Jenkins. They had Quan Alexander, for that matter. Quan Alexander has yet to sign a deal with the Saints or anywhere. I think he's still weighing his options. I hope the Saints bring him back because as much as I love Pete Werner and what he did for the Ohio State Buckeyes, you are even stronger as a unit when you have DeMario Davis, Pete Werner, and Quan Alexander in tandem. That three-man backing core. It would be the best linebacking core in the NFC South, bar none. All right, the Falcons just lost Foye Oluokun. You know, Levante Davis age. Same with Mario Davis, mind you, but so is Levante David. Devin White, he's not that good in coverage. You know, Shaquille Barrett, they have an aging defense from their first and second levels. So the Saints would have the best linebacking core. They retained Quan Alexander, and he deserves to be retained because he showed that he can be a playmaker for this defense when he's here. He only missed 5 games last year, and he tore it up when he got back. He brought the juice also. Juice Boys started in part because of what Quan Alexander was bringing. I want him back. I genuinely want him back. But it's back to the safety topic. A couple of safeties stand out to me if they was to draft one in the second round. I'm not sure if they'll drop this far, but Petrie from Oregon and Jaquan Brisker from Penn State. Those are my top 2. The safety pool isn't all that deep to choose from, but if they are going to draft a safety, I would take a good look at one of those 2 before someone takes them after you. If you have a chance to get one of them, you have to get them. Kyle Hamilton is not going to be there for the Saints. I'm sorry. He's the best safety in this draft class. Kyle Hamilton is going to be long gone. First round pick projected. Like bar none. So, with that being said, I put the link down in the chat. If anybody wants to talk, I'll do a couple more comments here, and then we're going to get up on out because I got other business I need to take care of. Let's go ahead and get Woo back in this comment section. Woo said, I think it's bigger than winning a playoff game for Jameis. It just all comes down to what Dennis Allen wants. Well, yes and no. It's just for Dennis Allen, it doesn't get any better than potentially reaching deep into the playoffs, like the divisional round, for example, with Jameis after he just came off a torn ACL. Like, that's what I would believe the expectation or the requirement would be for a guy like Jameis. He has to make the playoffs, and he has to win at least one playoff game to show Dennis Allen in this front office that he can be the quarterback moving forward. With that being said, we got Mikey, first-time caller here. Welcome, Mikey, to the BG Breaking Podcast. How's your day been?
Good. Right now I'm in my mom's room because we're doing some work on the house, and my mom just left. So,
Right.
yeah. That's my mom's bed over there.
Right.
Yeah, basically, if you always want to know what my mom's room is like, this is basically a tour. Thank you very much. As I was saying, I have a few things to talk about. First of all, Panther fans, how are you? I saw that you lost Gilmore to the Colts. So
Coming in with the shade. I like it.
yeah,
I like this young cat.
I honestly
like
thought you were gonna break that down some point on the stream, but I'm here too.
I'm not worried about the Panthers. The Panthers are in shambles anyway.
Yeah,
they already got my attention on Twitter.
Yeah, the Panthers. Your starting QB is Sam Darnold or Cam Newton. Yeah, your success is pretty much broken. And I know we haven't won a Super Bowl since 2009. And yes, it sucked. But when's the next time you'll win a Super Bowl? Your first Super Bowl? When I'm dead, buried in the ground. So enjoy your years of sucking.
Oh, wow. Okay. I hear you. Yeah. I hear you, buddy. I hear you, Brody.
So, yeah. And also, all right. And also, people are talking about Ian Book basically not being a reliable starter when honestly they forgot that they're basically just talking about Ian Book since his first start in his career wasn't perfect. They gotta remember Drew Brees when his first game with the Saints came, he wasn't perfect either. You know,
That's true.
But where's that got him? To a Super Bowl winning QB, Super Bowl MVP, probably rigged out of a real NFL MVP. It got him to multiple records. It got him to a first ballot Hall of Famer. It got him to a job on national TV. So basically, Ian Book, he's probably not going to do anything in the league, but he's there in case, say Winston gets hurt again. Like, it's good to know that you have a reliable backup, I guess. And also, the Dolphins as well with Tua. I heard that they were looking at a QB. If they don't get another QB, I think Tyreek Hill is gonna have to do what Michael Thomas did when Drew Brees didn't have a cannon. Tyreek Hill, he's a guy that likes going deep, but that's because you have Patrick Mahomes, who was a fan of the deep pass, but Tua.
Oh yeah,
he's a left-hand QB, so he's gonna be like, man. So I think Tyreek Hill is gonna have to turn into a Michael Thomas, so that he's gonna become the new slant boy. So we're finally gonna I hope that people aren't that naive. I hope they're gonna stop talking about Thomas being a slant boy. He's the only reason he's good is because of the slant boy gods, bro. Just shut up with that nonsense. No one wants to hear that.
With that being said, man,
Drew Brees, man, he just did not have a cannon. So if I hear someone talk about Thomas being another slant boy, like, don't expect greatness in your life because I will find your greatness.
Hey, okay, I hear you. Hey, let me ask you one question, and I gotta let you go. I got someone else waiting. How excited are you to hear Michael Thomas is going to be coming back to the Saints in the fold this year?
Michael Thomas, I just hope Michael Thomas can get back on the field and become what he was before injuries happened. Michael Thomas, the year right before the injury happened, he was amazing. Michael Thomas, breaking reception records, breaking everything, with his partner in crime and Drew Brees. And when I say crime, no, I'm not meaning that they stuck together. I mean that they were great together. So they were criming these defenses. Michael Thomas, I'm excited to see what he can do. I was really hoping the Saints wouldn't trade him, and thank God we did not trade him.
Right.
Michael Thomas, I feel like, James Winston, he can finally not be that slant boy god. Instead, he can be that Tyreek Hill, which is what Tyreek was if he didn't leave the Chiefs.
Bold take. That's a bold take.
Yep, Jameis, I just hope. Michael Thomas, people are forgetting how good he is when he runs deep routes. People are forgetting. The only reason that he ran slants is because Drew Brees did not have a Patrick Mahomes arm. Didn't have a Joe Burrow arm. He did not have an arm of a young QB. He was like 40 years old. So you like Brady, eventually he won't be able to go deep. So Mike Evans is going to eventually have to do slant routes too, or short routes. So
Right.
I get bro.
All right.
These old QBs can't throw deep balls, so you got to remember that. So yeah, that's basically what I have.
Wow, you said a mouthful right there, my brother. How old are you, by the way? You like?
I am 12. I'm gonna be 13 on April 29th. So yeah.
Oh, you already knee deep into Saints and into the Saints community. I respect that a lot, young man.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm becoming a YouTuber at the end of this month as well. So.
Hey, I respect that. Keep your head down. Keep your nose in the books. Stay out of trouble. All right. Don't be me. All right. All right. I already turned out to be a whole mess up in here. Don't be me. I may be a podcast. I may be an influencer to you, but do as I say, not as I do, and you'll make it, bro. But let me know when you make your podcast. I'll have you on. I'll give you a shout out and everything. I'll endorse you. But you have to put out there that you are just 12 going. All right. You have to keep a PG over there. You have to keep it PG here when you on, all right? But with that being said, Mikey, I appreciate you, bro, man. Stay in school. I got to let you go. I got 2 other calls on the line.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, my man. You too. Yo, Mikey, he crazy. But we got someone that I've been trying to get here for a hot minute. It's the dude. It is the dude. It is the dude, man in black. What is going on? What's going on? I talked to you in a hot minute. What's up?
Well, first off, I got me a new camera.
Oh, I see. It's pretty vivid. Like I see a lot more color in your. I can see a lot more color in your camera.
One sec, hold on. Let me see if I can change the videos. My cameras. See, integrated webcam. No, hold on. Let me get you. Hold on. One sec.
Okay.
There you go. Now,
oh yeah, a lot smoother. And while we're bringing you on, I am going to bring on Master at the same time, so I can talk to you both at the same time before we get up out of here, because I have a game, I have a race to get to, and a date tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
How you been, Davis?
Man, look, everything's been going smooth sailing so far. I can't be mad about it. I'm happy with where I'm at and where I'm potentially going. It's been a little tough now and again, but it's been a blessing, more so. So I'm really happy for that. I hope y'all been all right too. But with that being said, I had to get everybody else's thoughts here. Man in Black, I brought you on first. Master Podcast, my boy. You know you, my boy. For the record, everybody, Master Podcast is probably the biggest advocate for George Pickens right now, and he called his shot for Paulson Debo last year. Keep that in mind. He called his shot for Paulson Debo last year, and he was right. So take that for what you will. But George Pickens may end up being that dude if he can just stay healthy. He just might be that dude from Georgia. Yeah.
Is it George Pickett or Kenny Pickett?
No, George Pickens, the receiver from Georgia.
Oh, him. Yeah. Well, I'm actually kind of curious that we haven't heard much about another wide receiver. I want to see us try out. The wide receiver from Penn State,
John Dotson. I just talked about him and David Bell.
I haven't heard much about him. Now if we do take a safety and a tackle in the first round, I wouldn't mind picking him up in the second round. Because let's not forget, we do a lot better with wide receivers in the back half than we do in the first half.
Oh, so you think we're going to go safety in the first round? You don't think we're going to quarterback?
Wouldn't surprise me, because we did get Lattimore in the first round. He's a corner, so.
That's true. They've always gone offense and defense respectively when they get 2 first-round picks. History speaks for itself. Master Podcast, my boy. What's your thoughts on all this? You think they're gonna go quarterback, or how do you think the Saints are gonna operate with those 2 first-round picks they got in their back pocket?
Man, as much as I want to see offensive linemen and wide receiver come first round, I have a weird feeling it's going to go the same. We're going to go offense, pick an offensive guy, and we're going to pick a defensive guy, like you've been saying the last couple of weeks. It's been kind of hitting at home. That's what the Saints normally do. Maybe with Dennis Allen under being the coach, maybe he can switch that up. But he's still a defensive mind, so I wouldn't put it past him to do a defense and an offensive guy. But me personally, I would love to see maybe a Trevor Penning, a Charles Cross, and Chris Olave, or even a Jameson Williams, one of those 4 guys. And this guy right here will be stoked if we get an offensive lineman. and a wide receiver come first round. I keep seeing we're going to trade up for a quarterback. A lot of people say this quarterback room isn't deep or, it sucks. I think Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis have a lot of upside, but I don't want us drafting a quarterback first round. To me, I feel Jameis Winston's our guy. And if he's not, then I guess, and if Dennis Allen doesn't think that, then I guess that's our option in the quarterback. But
I'm about to say, think of it like this. Like I said, I am a really big Jameis Winston advocate. I will fight anybody, guy. But we also have to keep in mind, there is a chance, however small we may think it is, there's still a chance that Jameis Winston may not pan out. And then now you're left still in the quarterback carousel along with the multiple other teams. And you're just going to waste the roster and the talent on your roster that you have. A lot of these contracts are coming up. CD Deuce is coming up. David Onyemata's coming up. Eric McCoy's coming up after this year. A lot of names are going to be on the free agent market. They have got to hit it right. I understand that, which is why I'm all over the fact that they need to load up with Jameis Winston and get him some offensive help. With that being said, what if Jameis Winston doesn't pan out and Kenny Pickett's over there lighting it up with, and he ended up passing right by us? Well, you had a chance for Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, or what is that noise?
But I also think people are
kind of breaking up there, Davis.
Yeah, masked up. Your mic, dude. You sound like a.
Okay, my phone's about ready to die, and I see I'm screwing up.
Yeah, you sound like a transformer.
I don't have my headphones, so it sounds like I'm.
And plus, you're also freezing up a bit. So.
But I'm just going to go ahead and post whatever I'm just going to say in the comments.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Who that to you? Yeah, he sounded like a whole Decepticon. That's crazy.
Sounded like he was underwater.
Yeah, it sounded like it too. But look out in the comments, guys. He's going to be there. It happens sometimes.
But I do believe you're onto something though. Like there's always no matter how small the percentage. Look, the percentage is never zero that someone's gonna pan out. I say it's slim, but I give maybe 10% that James doesn't pan out. I say 10% he might not pan out. I get him about 7% he will pan out, and about 20% he stays the same. But with some improvement of growth.
Right. What are your thoughts on Matt Corral from Ole Miss?
He's more, to be honest, he feels like, I don't know why, but he gives me that somewhat, because I've seen him play against the Tigers both before Burrow before and even after Burrow, and he gives me, for some reason, some sort of Taysom Hill vibes.
Really? Taysom Hill vibes?
Not much, just a little bit there,
Is it because of how he was played?
Matt Curl, Matt Curl. I can't say his name right.
Corral, like Golden Corral.
I want to say coral, because it's spelled like coral reef,
Yeah, I got you.
But the thing is, when I say Taysom Hill, I meant that his legs and his butt, his pocket awareness is way better than Taysom Hill. It's been a while, but did he ever scramble at times? Is he a scrambler or just more pure pocket passer, or kind of in between?
He's more in between.
So he's kind of like a Joe Burrow hybrid. So he's kind of like a Joe Burrow hybrid in the kind of quarterback where they're great in the pocket, but if they need to extend the play, they can.
It's like when he was in the red zone, they did more RPOs and they made use of Matt Corral's legs when he got there.
Yeah, there was a couple times he burnt us out when we played Ole Miss, even though we beat him.
That's the only
couple touchdowns they got,
Yeah, I kind of like Matt Corral.
Because we bet hard on the run pass option, and by the time we turned around, he's already in the end zone. So.
Right. I think this draft class may be a little weaker than year, but let's look at last year. Like the only real rookie quarterback that had any sort of success was Mac Jones and a little bit of Davis Mills. Nothing on Zach Wilson, nothing on probably
class draft
number one, and nothing about Justin Fields, nothing about Trevor Lawrence, nothing about Trey Lance. It was just Mac Jones followed by Davis Mills, and everybody else was kind of just fodder. So
and see, the thing is,
we don't know how they pan out to get into the league.
Class, but a lot of them, some of them did actually pan out. You know, like Mac Jones, right. He's a fantastic job, by the way. Up there with Belichick, you know, hope he can help get them back to another Super Bowl. But the thing is, they need more depth pieces, you know, especially on defense.
It's like we don't know.
They need like 1-2 pieces on offense, but they definitely need more defensive help.
Right, so we don't know how these guys are going to pan out until they get into the league.
No, everything could be up in the air. Like it could be working out 1 week, it could be working out, and everything you want panned out 1 week, but then fall apart the next. Case in point, the first 2 weeks of the season last year for us. That's a great example. We were high off the blowout win at Green Bay. Then we got our ass handed with COVID, and half the damn staff is gone. You know.
Yeah, it's wild. I can't believe that actually happened. All right, Man in Black, I gotta let you go. I got raided about 40 minutes.
Before I go, I do have to say this. Well, if it doesn't work out, see, the thing is, if he doesn't work out, we have a serviceable quarterback, not only with Andy Dalton, but also we still have Ian Book on the roster. And the fact that we only have 2 years with Jameis means like Ian Book has plenty of time to sit back and learn the game of football and dissect how to read the plays and whatnot, and read defenses and move the ball down the field. To be honest, he was not ready that game against Miami. He made that Miami team look like a freaking like a perennial powerhouse. When on paper they really weren't. The fact is, our O-line was just non-existent there. So I'm happy with the 3 quarterbacks we got right now, but I wouldn't. Hello, you must have left. But anyways, I was still saying I just hope that if we do pick up a quarterback, it'll be mainly towards the back half of the draft or on having them be out the free agents. They are sometimes paying out. But I better get going. But hey, guys, subscribe to this man's channel. Share the love. Hit that subscribe button, like and comment. Peace.
I'm sorry, y'all. That was actually me. That Man in Black, if you're still around in the stream, I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi conked out. I thought that was you at first, but obviously it was me. I apologize to everybody. I thought I had this figured out, but apparently I don't, and I hate it. But I hope Man in Black can forgive me for that. But I'm glad he got his thoughts out there. I'm going to have to follow up with him on this, obviously, get his thoughts in the comment section or wherever I can reach him, because I don't want to end like that. Like, he deserved to have his final thoughts said, but for right now, I really do have to go. I have to get ready for it, but thank you to everybody who joined in today for B&G Breakdown Podcast, for your boy, Who Dat Davis. All my social media handles are down in the description below. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully I'll have this internet connection issue figured out by then. I'm still looking to do some videos. And as always, if you don't know, you will know that over here, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I'll check you guys out next time. Hopefully, the next time you see me will be for the watch party for the NFL draft. Check out Hoodie Jew, Master Podcast, TJ Jones from the State of the Saints podcast, and all of us Saints content creators, because we will be getting together as a group watch. Wherever that ends up happening, right? So that's going to be interesting. Please let me know if you guys are interested in that. It's going to be a fun night, a lot of emotions, reactions, stuff of that manner. I'll see you guys next time. Later.